Hey guys, how you doing? This is Corey, and many of you know me from the Northwoods RV Life. We've had such an overwhelming demand to try to help you guys out with your channels. We decided that we need to start another channel so they're not producing mixed content on our main channel. So that's the whole purpose of this channel, and we hope to go ahead and help you guys out with some stuff. And we'll go ahead and we'll just start jumping right in here, start welcoming some people to the room. See, we have Gary over, Daydreaming About Nice Things is here, Burning Up the Roads is here. Justin, Christina here. Thank you guys for stopping by. Looks like we've got about 6 people in the house. So the first one I'm going to go ahead and get started with is Burning Up the Roads. I had him comment in the chat who wanted a channel review. And just keep in mind that a couple things. One, this is just to bring kind of some awareness of what you can do to try to improve your channel. Obviously, you don't have to do all these steps, and it's hard to come across informational without criticizing. So don't feel bad if I say something about your channel and don't take it personally. It's just a matter of looking over your channel, what I think you could do to maybe help increase your subscribers, help increase your views. And that's what that's all about here on YouTube, is helping out you guys to get more views. So with that, one of the first things I'll go ahead and pop up, I see Roy and Becky's Travels just popped up in here. For those of you that don't know, I work in IT. I've worked in IT for approximately about 30 years now. I'll go ahead and I'll pop up a little banner here just to give you an idea. This right here is my credentials. I am a Microsoft certified IT professional, Microsoft certified systems engineer, as well as Cisco certified in routing and switching, and Network Plus and A Plus certified through the CompTIA program. And these are pretty widely known certifications within the tech world. I've been certified for a number of years. So I got a little bit of background about, pretty much computers in general. My main focus of my job is IT infrastructure, server and client applications, network connectivity, internet, things like that. So, but over the years, I've owned internet service providers. I've done web design, web hosting, things of that nature. So I have a little bit of background when it comes to branding and things like that, and just try to share some of the knowledge that we've learned over the course of us reaching our 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And our main goal is to help you guys, the little guy who's still trying to get your 1,000 subscribers, and what we can do, to try to help you guys get there. So, all right. So, hi, Lucky Dog. Thanks for joining us. So what we'll do is I'll go ahead and I will share out Burning Up the Roads YouTube channel here. Let me go ahead and pull this up. This gives us a good opportunity to kind of do a deep dive on some of these channels. I know sometimes these interviews and stuff we do, we can't typically answer everyone's questions. But keep in mind that a lot of these things that we're going to start to cover pretty much applies to the majority of people's channels, of just kind of best practices when it comes to YouTube and things of that nature. So first thing I'm going to look at when I very first come here is some of the things that are recommended as far as best practices when it comes to YouTube, or when you first start a YouTube channel, is one, the channel name. And that's because you want a kind of some sort of a catchy name that you think people will remember, or at least when they see it, it's going to trigger a memory in their mind. that they remember who you are. I think you have actually nailed it with this one, with the burning up the roads. I think you got a decent name. Now, some people are all worried about whether or not your name shows up in search. At this stage in the game, I wouldn't worry about it. And the reason I say that is because nobody's searching your name in search unless they already know you. It kind of comes down to that. Nobody's just going to probably stumble across your channel trying to search for your name. So don't think that whatever name you choose isn't going to work simply based on the fact that it's not searchable in YouTube. I know one channel that we helped, Susan from New Horizons, that was one of her concerns, is that the name of the channel is widely used and covers a lot of topics on YouTube, and it gets drowned out in the competition to really be found, and she was concerned about that. I don't think that's a big deal because, like I said, in order for somebody to be searching for you, they have to know you. So the first item on the list is to get found. So with that, I think you nailed your channel name on here with burning down the roads. Great. It's catchy. It's rememberable. People will see it and they'll click on that and know that, hey, this is who you are. First, looking at your channel here, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that, and I think you said it in the chat as well, is branding. And this is kind of the number 2 list when you're starting a YouTube channel. Is the next step beyond the name is what is your channel going to look like? And one of the things, and I don't know if any of you are familiar with Tim Schmoyer. I've actually taken his class, his 30 Days to a Better YouTube Channel. So a lot of this knowledge I'm bringing is also directly, from a YouTube certified expert on how to try to make your channel better. So I'm sharing the information that we've learned over the course of this year from a paid class that we paid for through Tim Schmoyer. So, as well as there's other fantastic resources on YouTube to go find most of the information I'm going to share today. So the next item is the fact of, what is your channel about? Now, some of that comes into your channel name. Like I said, I think you nailed the channel name. It gives you kind of the first steps about what your channel's about. But this is part of what branding comes into to play. When somebody first hits your channel, they might not have even noticed what your name was. They might have found a video of yours. They might have watched the video and they're like, oh, well, I wonder if this content creator has other stuff. So they visit your channel. One of the first things you want them to know the second they land on your channel is what your channel is about. And that's really what this channel art section up at the top should really be utilized for up here, where you have a nice, very scenic picture. Looks like of a river here. And that's great. I love sceneries in those. I think it works well. But as you can see right now, you have no branding on it. You have, no text and things like that onto it. So first thing I would concentrate as far as trying to do this is when you start a YouTube channel, you first have to know who's your target audience going to be. For most of us here in the RV niche on YouTube, it's obviously RVers or van life people or nomads, that sort of type of activities. So we kind of already know what our target audience is going to be and how we're going to try to, target that audience. So the first thing I would suggest with your channel art is one, have some channel art created. And if you want, I'll include an email towards the end of this live stream in the chat that you can shoot me an email if you need help, getting a channel art done for your channel. I'll go ahead and I can help you with that too. But this is one of the first things that people are going to see when they come to your channel. And I've always said that you got to have decent branding, because chances are the second they hit your channel, they're going to do one of two things. They're either going to subscribe or leave. And, they might look to just see if you have content there. Chances are, if, they may or may not ever watch a video before subscribing to your channel. It's all about the look at first. So the better look you can give them, the better chance of them subscribing even before they watch a video. And so this is one of the things here. The channel art can be worked on. I would probably put your name. If you have a value proposition, as you probably seen on ours, our value proposition on the Northwoods is freedoms and adventure. We're finding ours, and you can too. And so we put that up on our channel art so that somebody has a little bit more of an idea. We don't have a picture of our RV on our channel art, so we want to try to let them know that, hey, this channel is about RVing. It's about travel, adventures, things like that. So we list out on there also what our channel's about. RV adventures, our RV travel, adventures, and outdoor cooking. And we also list out kind of our video schedule, which our video schedule we try to do every week. We're not always on time with that, but the live streams are on time every week, and the live streams really help too, trying to keep a schedule of people coming back. And last night on Art RVing's channel, me and Papa Drew, while we're on there, Papa Drew had mentioned about posting consistently to YouTube. And even above and beyond that, part of the thing is not just consistent, but you want to maintain a certain amount of momentum of moving forward. The days, being consistent on the days is great, but even more so, as views start coming in, you want to try to maintain a number of views on average over your 48-hour period that your analytics typically show. The better you do it trying to keep those views up, your channel will start to gain momentum and will start to grow. So, but back onto this with the channel art. One of the things to keep in mind with the channel art is that when you upload a picture, that it has to fit multiple screens, because YouTube uses one photo for the desktop version, the mobile version, as well as the TV version. So this causes a little bit of issues when it comes to how you're going to go about laying out that photo, because it's not just like a normal photo per se. Let me see. Kathy's. We'll pull up one I did for Kathy's outdoor adventure here. Let me go ahead and pull up what the channel art looks like. Application. So when you look at this, overall, the image is huge because it has to fit a TV screen as well. And the part that shows up on desktop and mobile is really just this little strip that runs through the middle of it. And it has to be sized properly. There's free programs out there that you can use to do this if you do enough searching. Canva will let you do a certain amount of something for free. And then you get better options if you pay for Canva to create these so that they're perfectly sized right and stuff. And I have a template that when I make these, I put them so that they're sized right so that they'll fit the screen, desktop, mobile, and TV. And that way you don't have to worry about something not lining up. Now, the other thing to keep in mind on these here, when you have your image, mobile's going to cut off the ends of this. So you have to know where to place something in here, because over here we see the subscribe here, and over here we see the new videos weekly. That's going to get chopped off on mobile, and you're not going to see that. So you can use the space wisely. It'll show on desktop. It'll show on TVs. So put stuff over there that maybe you want to try putting out to people that view on those platforms, but you want to use stuff that, you don't want your main logo over there because it's not going to be seen on mobile. It'll end up getting chopped off. So if you're wanting to put a logo on, name, value proposition, which was this one right here I did for Kathy, you can see here, finding your adventure on the road less traveled. That's, her value proposition for her channel that we threw together for her. And that, go ahead and, when you hit that, you kind of have an idea that, hey, this girl's all about hiking, the outdoors, things like that. And it just kind of embeds in the back of your mind the second you hit a channel, what's going on with it, and is this a channel I may be going to like? So, all right, we'll stop sharing that, and we'll go back to your channel. Pull it up. Okay, so let's go on. So before I move on, does that sound burning up the roads? Does that sound like you got a little gist of channel art and branding as far as that goes? The other thing that's kind of included with branding is what your logo is. Some people think of this kind of like Facebook, and quite often you'll see face pictures there. If that's what you choose to do, that's fine. I like that to be more of your logo. And when I say logo, it's not, I think that every channel should have kind of a logo that is for their channel. And quite often that very well may be down the road, if you decide to do stickers, that would be your template for your stickers. So, and it's just kind of an identifier that people can see that they know is you. If they see your sticker that you've shared to somebody down the road, and they hit your channel and they see that and they go, yeah, that's who I'm talking about right there. Logo is just a little bit of identity. Most people's not going to recognize your face, even on such a small icon on the screen. Have that as you will. Like I said, take all this with a grain of salt. It's your channel. You end up doing what you want. Just my recommendation would be to, instead of having an actual face picture there, have it as a logo. If you want to include your face, and I do, say that including your face is good, but I would put it maybe up in the channel art that gets created, and maybe share, a picture of yourself with a scenic background or something of that nature, to have your face kind of up front, a little bit bigger, can be seen, and use this little tiny space that's here for a logo instead of your actual picture. So, all right. So if you guys think this is useful information, go ahead and put a Y in the chat here, so we kind of know you guys are alive over there. I know I'm talking up a storm here. So, all right. So moving on, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down on this here a little bit, take a look, see what you got going on. And this is pretty common, what I see most channels when they start thinking about, hey, maybe my channel's not growing. Why am I not growing? Things like that. And again, this kind of falls into what I had talked about of first impressions. When somebody first hits your channel, one thing I would really suggest is try to nail down a thumbnail design. They don't have to all be the same. Ours are very similar when it comes to our thumbnails. I like the look of having the full brand on the channel, where somebody sees our thumbnails, there's no mistaking in who we are. But by no means do they have to be the same to be successful. But the one thing I would do is usually when somebody will ask me to do their channel art or take a look at their channel art, first thing I'll do is I'll tell them, send me some pictures of you with a scenic background or something like that. Give me a couple different options, maybe of your rig that you travel in a scenic background sort of thing. And the other thing I will typically ask them is, what is your favorite color? And a color that's not dark. You want a high visibility, contrasting color. That's your favorite color. And I do that for a couple reasons. First off, I think that you're going to be more happy with it if it's a color that you like. Pretty simple. But the other thing is, it was actually TubeBuddy's recommendations of what you want for thumbnails. Let me see if I can pull up I have a list of stuff for thumbnails. I'm not finding my list right away, but typically there's a few things when you go to create a thumbnail. The very first thing is that you want something that draws attention in the way of colors. High contrasting, bright colors tend to work much better for drawing attention to your thumbnail over maybe some of the basic thumbnails that might be just an image captured out of the video that don't have, any kind of border or anything like that. At the very least, I would put a bright contrasting color as a border around the thumbnail. And I think you probably got good. It looks like you're kind of going with a greenish theme on, like your intro of your video and stuff like that. So I would maybe think maybe something along the lines of like a lime green or something of that nature that'll make that try to maybe outline that thumbnail a little bit. Doesn't have to be a thick outline. It can be just a thin line around the outside edge of the thumbnail that can help it. The other thing I see is, most of your thumbnails are just an image with no text. This one right here that does have text on your running errands video, the text tends to blend in a little bit with the background. This is something that you don't want to do. The contrasting color, the bright contrast, high contrast color is great, but it does kind of blend in with the background. And this kind of comes to that if you are using any kind of editing software or Canva or something to put that text on there. Sometimes all it takes is an outline around the text. I usually try either black or white outlines. I do it in Photoshop. In Photoshop, they call it a stroke. And you can adjust the size, how many pixel sizes you want around it. So you can kind of make it really big, like it's glowing. Or I try to get away from that. And I try using a little bit thinner line just to try to make the text just stand out from the background and maybe pop a little bit. The other thing I usually suggest is with your channel is when you choose that favorite color, have another color to go with it that doesn't clash with it. And typically because of that, usually I'll recommend white. So you'll have your favorite color, white, unless you find another color that goes along with what you're doing that doesn't clash and bleed into each other. Typically white will go with anything. So white's a good choice. And it's also a good choice for some of your text because it can typically jump off away from what the background of the image is. So a little bit of things on thumbnails there that I think can be worked on. You can't see what I'm talking about. Oh, let me scroll down here a little bit. Oh, I'm on Social Blade. Let me get rid of that. There we go. We can get you on the right one. Okay. Okay, so right here is what I'm kind of talking about here. This thumbnail over here, the running errands one, you can kind of see that the text here bleeds into the background a little bit. And this right here is where I was talking. I think the green's okay. It might need an outline around the text. Maybe with this one, I would say probably white would go good with it. The blue text up above, I'd maybe change to white or something a little lighter. The blue really blends in bad and kind of bleeds into the background. So there's some things here that I think you can touch up when it comes to thumbnails. Obviously, it doesn't look like you really have a thumbnail theme or anything as of yet. So, it looks like for the most part, you're just grabbing one of the default thumbnails from the video. And in some cases, you're just getting started. You got to keep in mind, you're only at 242 subscribers right now. You're still a new channel. This is about the time that you start thinking that, what can I do to make things better? So don't feel bad at all about what you're doing. We've all been there. So, all right, let's go ahead and read some stuff that's going on in the room. Red or electric green? I would go with the electric green. I don't really like red on thumbnails unless it's like red on black. Red likes to bleed a lot, and so does blue. So I would try to stay away from those colors, if you can. Like I said, I like using things like orange, teal, lime green, maybe a magenta, things like that. Something that's bright, contrasting color that can kind of stand out against other things. And I'll show an example of some of our thumbnails here in just a little bit. In fact, I will show that kind of, because you want your thumbnails to stand out from other channels. So we'll search one here that I rank rather high on. Right. Okay, so as you can see right here, we rank really high on the Moride storage box. We rank number 1 on YouTube for that video. And with our high contrasting colors, you take a look at the other thumbnails that are around it, and you start to see a lot of these are just ones that are grabbed from the video or whatnot. There's no text. There's no high contrasting colors. So it makes it highly clickable because it draws attention to your eye to that. So that's kind of what you want to do. You want to have that attraction when somebody sees your thumbnail to be drawn to click on it. Some of the other good things with thumbnails is, even TubeBuddy recommends, try to use a human face whenever possible. And you can see, let me come to our channel here, what we got going on. Okay, we'll pull that up. And you can see here on our channel, we've been incorporating faces for a while now, unless it's a cooking video, and then I try doing a really good, picture of the finished product of the food sort of thing. And because your thumbnails are all about drawing interest or intrigue, some people suggest, using a question or something of that on a thumbnail. It's one way to draw intrigue. The other way is, everyone kind of makes fun of it, but your thumbnails always have your YouTube face that, oh my God, or sort of thing. Sometimes you have a serious face that you might, depending on what the video is about. But we've been incorporating faces for a while now, Whether or not they have higher click rates than the ones that don't have thumbnails, it's hard to tell when you're a small channel. You can go by your percentage in your analytics as far as what YouTube's saying your click-through rate is, but it all depends on the quality of the content. Some videos that aren't as good will start to have a lower click-through rate because you're falling off a ranking and you're falling out of view. So in order to really know whether or not your click-through rates are really affecting you, you have to have some traffic to begin with to the video, and that comes when it comes to titles, tags, and descriptions. But this is some of the things that we're doing, and you don't have to be nothing fancy. Some of these older ones we done from a green screen, and then I used had a couple versions of stuff. I just pasted in. These newer ones I think look a little nicer. We just got a new camera, and what we did is after we shot a video one day, me and Lori sat down and we just snapped some goofy pictures here and there, and it gives me some ideas to be able to throw some faces in on these thumbnails for a human face. So, okay. All right, let me go back to your channel here. Whoop. Back one. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Like I said, if you look at some of our first thumbnails, we still have one thumbnail or two thumbnails out there that, let me pop this back up, that you can see, and this is why I said don't feel bad. I haven't gotten through to change all of the thumbnails yet. If I come down to season 1 and I come down through here, look at this thumbnail right here. It was kind of okay for what it was at the time. We've got a couple of those, I believe, still floating out there. But it's this thumbnail right here of our camper coming out of storage last year. And it was just kind of what was thrown together at the time. It was really before I had a nailed down thumbnail theme. And we grew too. I mean, we looked at this about the time we were hitting about 250, 300 members, and wanted to have better thumbnails. So it's a learning progression. We went through it. Everyone goes through it, and you'll go through it too. And eventually you'll start getting a look to your channel, and you can start moving forward with that. The other things that I would maybe take a look at on your channel is one, this homepage right here, and how you go about displaying your homepage. And this right here is just kind of the default page that's you just kind of get with YouTube as far as having your uploads. And a lot of people put this created playlist because when you go to add that section, that's kind of the default that falls in. And I'm going to show you here on our channel, because I can't do it on your channel, so I'm going to do it on my channel. If we come to customize channel, how we lay out our channel, these sections you can add and modify, and you can lay out your home screen of your YouTube channel in any fashion that you want. And how you do that is you go down by the very bottom. There's a section right here that says add a section. And what we typically see is people will come in here and they will add a created playlist. And if you look down here, this is the look that you have on your channel. Let me see, make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so that right there is the look that you see with the created playlist. This view I don't care for at all, and this because half of the thumbnail is chopped up with how many videos are in the playlist. So what I would rather do is have it so that I can actually see the full thumbnails, so that you're showing the people your best work and be able to put that out in front of them to be able to see. Where this here, you're seeing one thumbnail of what the video is in there, and half of it is chopped off. And what you can do is, instead of choosing created playlist, you can choose a single playlist. And then down here, you can actually choose which one of the playlists that you would like to have in there. So if I wanted, like, say this one is cooking videos, okay, I'm going to put that in there, and it's going to list them out in kind of icon format of the thumbnails. It gives it a better look. People can still scroll if they need to see more, but it'll kind of show the top 5 videos in that playlist. And then you can also organize these. Let me cancel this. As you have these different sections, each one of these is a single playlist. And over here to the right-hand side, right here, there's an arrow on this one here to move it up. If you come up here, because it's at the bottom, you only have an up arrow. This one here, you have an up and a down arrow right here. Move my mouse around. Maybe you can see where that's at right here. There's an up arrow and a down arrow. So if I wanted to move this guy up, I could click him and he would switch positions and move up the tree of the order of how those are. And if I want to move him down, I click the down arrow and that'll move him back down. So that's how you go about organizing your page as far as how you want it laid out. Now, one of the things I did, and I did this because of playlists, and we'll do a different live stream on different topics. This one here is just going to be kind of a channel review, but I'll do other live streams in the upcoming days or weeks on playlists and hashtags and all these great things that you can do to try to improve your channel. Right now, this one here being a channel review, we're just going to kind of give you the details of what you can do to try to improve your overall channel. And from there, we can do a deeper dive on certain subjects on how you can use certain features to try to help improve your channel. But we'll just kind of give you an overview as far as what you think you can improve on your channel here. So, okay, so let me come back to your channel here. All right. See what we got going in the room. She's actually burning up the rose. I'm actually excited to learn this. And there's lots of great resources out there. In fact, on this channel that I'm doing this live stream from, TuberGuru, I've created some playlists down below that include YouTube experts from around YouTube. There's some stuff from Roberto Blake and Nick Minion and Brian G. Johnson, which are some of the guys I watch on a regular basis on how to try to improve your channel. There's great videos down in those playlists that you can come back to our channel here at TuberGuru, and you can watch some playlists and learn all kinds of stuff with your channel, not just what we're talking about here in the live stream here. But yeah, definitely I would reorganize your playlist on your home screen and to make it look better. You still don't have many videos. You only have about 16 because you're still new. When you start getting maybe 25, 30, that definitely makes sense to have different playlists because you can display more of your content up front in view of anyone hitting your channel. Like right now you have 16 videos, but here it's showing the first 6 and then they have to click over to see the rest, which as you have these in playlist, this one has 3 videos, 4 videos, 4 videos. You can go ahead and you can list them out, and it makes it so that 1, it looks like you have more content than what you might have when you're a small channel, but 2, it pushes all those thumbnails out in front of people to see right here on the home page without having to scroll so much. So, or go ahead and pan over as much. So that's a great tip that you can use there. All right. So some of the other things, let's go ahead and we'll click on here. All right. You do have a description. You got a decent amount of a description. You got a paragraph in there. You do have your email listed that you can click on. And if anyone doesn't know, this is how you can typically find a YouTube channel's email address. If they have it listed, come on, say you're not a robot, you can find their email address here in the About section if you need to contact them for some reason. The one thing that you are missing here is channel links. And the channel links not only show down here, they'll also show up here in the bottom right-hand corner of the channel art. So again, I'll take you over to our channel here and kind of show you what channel links are. So you can see right here at the top, make sure you can see what I can see. Right here at the very top right here, we have some channel links up here. We've got, one that goes to an auto-subscribe link for YouTube. And I do this, there's a subscribe button right below it, but I do this right here. One, when I do the channel art and I put the arrow, it points right to it. It just gives you another spot where that might draw to an eye to click and auto subscribe to your channel. We also include our Facebook, our Instagram, and then in here we have our main website and also our RV Life Store, which those of you who don't know, off of our website we have a full-blown Amazon affiliate store with pretty much anything you need for RVing in there. And so we put a link there that drives people to that site. They can buy stuff and we get small affiliate commissions from Amazon for that. So it kind of helps the channel with recoup a little bit of what the cost we put into it. So the other spot where links show up is in your About section. So down here, if you have links in your channel links, you're also going to have them shown down here. And here again, we have our subscribe to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, website, RV Life Store, Twitter, Pinterest, merch store. So you get a few more listed in the list of that here. And how you can go about putting in those links, if you come to customize channel, up here where you change your channel art, when you click the little edit button up here in the corner, you have the choice of editing your channel art. It's thinking here. Hopefully we're not froze up because it's swimming here. We look like we're good. Let me go ahead and I'll try to refresh that and see if it comes up. Okay. Okay. Doesn't want to work today. But you can also edit your links down here in your About section. There's an edit button here as well. YouTube's been pretty glitchy since yesterday, so as you may run into some things that aren't working on YouTube. I think they're working on a lot of things here the last couple days, but so you'd use that edit button right there, and it would pop up whether you want to edit your channel art or edit your channel links. And it'll pop up the channel links, and you can put them in there. The thing to keep in mind is, see how this one, the first one says subscribe on YouTube. The first one is going to be a little bit bigger, and you can kind of change the name of what you want it to be. But if you put it in a YouTube link, it's going to show YouTube as like the full word, unless you change it to say like subscribe to YouTube. The first link is always a little bigger displayed up here in the channel links. So something to keep in mind. Okay, there we go. So now it's finally thinking. Make sure that you can see that here. So right here we have edit links, edit channel. So if I click edit links, you'll see it's going to come down here to this section right here, and you can put in custom links to things that you want to link to. Like I said, I would always include a subscribe to YouTube up there, just another spot where they can subscribe to. If you have a Facebook page, make sure you add it. Instagram page, you can add it. If you have a website or a blog post site, you can put that in there. Twitter, Pinterest, or anything else that you want to link, you can go ahead and put in there. And then when you're done, you just click done, and that'll put them up there as well as in the About section. So, all right. So with that, we'll go ahead and get out of this. All right. Okay, so other than that, the About section looks pretty good. Discussion tab, I see you got some stuff in there. When you're small and you have a discussion chat tab, there's not a lot of benefits as of yet for small channels in using this tab. You can go ahead and you can put stuff out here. Most people probably aren't going to see it or whatnot until you have over 1,000 subscribers and you finally get your community tab. YouTube has some extra features with the community tab where it makes it more kind of like a Facebook feed, and people can see that on their home screen YouTube. It has more benefits than with the discussion tab. So most people don't really utilize this too much because people don't normally see it. So that's fine. Channels. Okay. So these are all the channels that you subscribe to. Some people choose to hide these. Some people will actually tell you that, having these displayed is a way for people to click off of your channel. And it is, but it's not something front and center that they have to go digging for. Now, I actually, on our channel, we do, we show our channels we display to, but we also come over here and we have our featured channels that we put on here. And these are just some channels that we like to show some support to. And we go ahead and we throw them on there so that viewers of our channel know that, hey, we subscribe these guys too. Go over and check them out as well. So just a little thing. There has been some rumor about whether or not this gives you any suggested views. I don't think it does. And I don't think it really helps anything other than the channels that you help promote from here. So I wouldn't worry about that too much if you think you're going to try getting views from that. So, all right. So we'll come to playlists. So playlists right now, you have a few playlists. You will obviously have more playlists as you get more videos and you start breaking things down into sections. There's some things you can do with playlist that you don't really find a whole lot of information on. And we'll come back in here on my channel so I can show you in the edit mode of the channels. So you can kind of see what we got going on here. We come to playlists. Okay, so say if I come to my RV live streams playlist right here, and you can see here we're in kind of the edit mode. And one of the things you want to make sure is a playlist has a section for a description that you can add. Now, most people's not going to see this description by visiting your playlist, but the thing to keep in mind that playlists can, if they get enough traffic, can become searchable in YouTube. And they become searchable, one, because they've gained traction, but also because of the keywords that reside in this description. And then also, if you do end up using hashtags, those hashtags you can add in to the description here, and it gives this playlist a better chance to show up on YouTube if somebody were to click on a hashtag and search for a hashtag on YouTube. The other option that you have in here too is you start breaking up playlists on your channel. you can see, let me go back here to our Mackinac City playlist here. So, where is it? I hate that it doesn't show some of the stuff. So we'll go to this one right here. So here, like here, you can see I don't have a description here. I need to add a description in here. This is a playlist that I created for a very specific reason. And if you notice right here, you have three little dots, and you know that three little dots means a menu. Whenever you see those type of things, when you click on that, it has a spot right here. You can go playlist settings. So you have some settings here that you can modify. They're a little buried, and some people don't know about these playlists. One of the options is you can add new videos to the top of the playlist. So when you add a video to this playlist, it'll automatically put it at the top of the playlist. So that's a good option to have turned on. Allow embedding. This is if you want to be able to embed these videos like in a blog post or website. You can actually turn that option on or off so that other people aren't using your videos and embedding them on stuff if you don't want them to. I'm not sure why you would not want them to. More views is always good. But one of the big settings that's really buried in here is under the advanced section or advanced settings. Okay, there it popped up. So right here, you get to choose whether or not these playlists are public or private. And one of the things I would do is if you have the default watch later playlist being displayed on your channel, set that to private. So like most people are adding stuff to the watch later from other channels. I do it quite often. If I find a topic that, hey, I might want to do a video on that, I save it to my watch later list. And I don't want those in a playlist of someone else's stuff on my channel. I want to have that private, so only I can see it. So you can do that right here by marking it public, unlisted, or private, and how you want stuff ordered within it and stuff like that. The other option that people don't normally know about is this top one right here that says set official series for a playlist. This is an option. If you have a video series, like we have our Lighthouse series and our Mackinac City video series and things like that, you can put them all in a playlist, and you can mark this as the official playlist of this series. Now, you can only have one official playlist for a video. So say if I put this on my Mackinac City one, I can't make that video in another playlist it's official. It can be in another playlist, but it can only have one official playlist. What this does, we've all seen like tutorial videos on YouTube that has a part 1, part 2, part 3. And when you go to watch one, and when it's done, it automatically rolls over to that part 2. That's because they're in a playlist and they're marked as a series. So this is a good thing to do in your playlist if you can group stuff together and mark it as being in a series, because the YouTube algorithm likes when someone watches your content and then immediately watches something else of your content. It gives the algorithm a kick that this viewer really likes your stuff, and they'll start getting recommended more of your stuff, both on their main homepage of YouTube, but also in recommended and browse and things like that. But they'll also get more of your stuff recommended to them and suggested after watching videos on YouTube. So this right here is a really good thing to take a look at when it comes to playlists. So, All right, let's go back to your channel here. All right. All right. Burn Up Throw says you've never seen some of this. And this is the learning curve. First year or so on on YouTube, when you're, digging and scratching to try to find information and stuff, these little things can really help you. And some of the things are a little harder to find sometimes, and other things you can find. Like I said, if you watch some of these guys I have in the playlist of this channel after this live stream, like Roberto Blake and Nick Minnan and Brian G. Johnson, they have some awesome content when it comes to learning how to improve your YouTube channel. So, all right, RV Ashes in April, thanks for joining us. All right, so on from playlist. Like I said, there's lots of things you can do there. Playlists can be searchable in search, so make sure you add descriptions. If you're going to use hashtags, and we'll go into some definition here. Some people confuse hashtags with YouTube tags simply because it's tags, but there is a difference, and they have different purposes. Let's come in here. Okay. So when you look at a video, let's go ahead and we'll pull up this video right here of mine. Okay, and I have different plugins installed. I have vidIQ, TubeBuddy, Social Blade, all that stuff in here. But what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll look right here at TubeBuddy. Make sure you can see what I'm seeing here. Right here, this shows how many views and comments and all that good stuff. And down here, you can see tags right here. This is tags that are YouTube tags. This is what you put in your video details. It has a section for tags for trying to rank and search. And if you have the TubeBuddy installed with a pro license on it, you have the ability to be able to click this right here, and it will highlight what tags rank and search and at what position. So what you'll see here is when you tag your videos, you want to always include what the title of your video is, which right here, Doritos Chicken Bacon Ranch Sandwich. So this right here is our first tag. You always want to at least rank for what your title exactly is. So that, again, that ranks number 1 because of that. But then, Chicken Bacon Ranch Sandwich looks like that ranks, looks like, what is that, a number 13 it looks like. So we have some different ranking tags that are here. Now, hashtags are different. Hashtags should go in your description of your video. And if I come here and click on the description, you'll see that I have hashtags in a couple different places. This right here, I have one in this little section here at the beginning. They don't have to be there. Any hashtag in your description will work no matter where it's at to be searchable on YouTube. Now, I include this right here as just a little section of, share your photos with us at these hashtags. So if, people are on other social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, they see this hashtag, if they were to share it, we can go out and click on those hashtags and see if people are sharing stuff with us. But most people will go to thinking hashtags like it is on Instagram, because Instagram's kind of the Mac Daddy of hashtags between them and Twitter. And they think of, I want to be able to get found from hashtags. Well, hashtags on YouTube work a little bit differently, because where you might be, people might be going out and really searching hashtags on Instagram and stuff, and you can actually subscribe to a hashtag on Instagram if you didn't know. Chances are on YouTube, most people are not going to find you because of a hashtag on Instagram. So because of that, some people are like, oh, well, don't bother with them, don't use them. Now, I would still bother them. If you come down to the bottom of my description, I tend to put some more hashtags down here at the bottom. Like I have Blackstone or hashtag Blackstone Griddle, hashtag Chicken Bacon Ranch, Pure Michigan, because that's a tourist hashtag that's used here in Michigan. Hashtag Get Outdoors. That's a hashtag that's used primarily by the Outdoor Channel on cable channels and stuff. So I use some popular ones down here. Now the keynote is YouTube says don't use any more than 15 hashtags. Otherwise, the algorithm will start not showing any of your hashtags for search. So you want to keep it below 15. Try to keep it, a couple below it if you can. 10 or 12 is great. But part of the things, because people probably are searching different for hashtags on YouTube than they do on Instagram, because it's not like you can subscribe to a hashtag here on YouTube, but you can search it. And the reason we still want to use hashtags is try to help ourselves in any means that we can. And that's because the first 3 hashtags, and I include the first 3 up here just because it's up in front and I know exactly which ones are going to be shown. Those first 3 hashtags will display right here above the title. If you're on mobile, it'll display the first 2. But on desktop, it'll show the first 3. And these hashtags are a clickable link to a YouTube search. So what you're doing by using hashtags is you're giving somebody a link right here on your title to leave this video. Now, we don't normally want them to leave, but if for some reason they decide to click that because they saw something there, we want them to be able to not leave our content. So why would we use a hashtag like in this case, Blackstone Griddle? Because if I come down here and I say if I click on this hashtag, Blackstone Griddle, you're going to see it's going to do a YouTube search. And as you go down through here and you look at this, it's a saturated market. And you're not going to see any of my videos here. So why would I give them a clickable link straight above my title to leave my channel, leave my content? That doesn't make much sense. It's a great tag to have. You might get found. Chances are probably not. But we'll go ahead and put that in the bottom of the description. But now we go back to this video. One of the more important things is these top 3 tags because they're shown here. So these are tags that you want to use. And a hashtag, if you're not familiar, a hashtag is just a made-up tag. Anybody can make a tag. It's not registered. It's not, a name, or you just make up a tag and start using it. And so I used to use the hashtag Camp Kitchen when we came here. So if I actually put in Camp Kitchen, as you can see in here, I kind of had the same problem. I was looking here, it's like, oh yeah, a couple of my videos show up, but there's some other competition in there that I'm not dominating it by any means. A couple of my videos show up, but I'm not killing it here. So what I did is you can just create a hashtag that you want to use. So I changed it slightly. What I did is I went out and started searching a couple different hashtags, and I wanted to find one that no one was using. And no one's using it because when you put it in here, YouTube's going to tell you that there's no search results. So what you do is you start tagging your videos with that hashtag. And this creates a link right here, which I changed it slightly to RV Camp Kitchen. So now when I click on RV Camp Kitchen, what you see is it does a YouTube search. Again, just like it did with the Blackstone Griddle one. But if you look at this, every one of them is my video because no one else is using it. This is 100% my videos. If somebody clicks that on that video and leaves that video, what they're presented with is more videos that they might be able to find one that they do like and watch some more. And again, we've helped trigger that algorithm of YouTube of you've watched one of my videos, then you watched another one of my videos, and that YouTube's going to start thinking that, okay, I've watched a couple, now I'm going to start suggesting it to you. And we've all seen it. We watched a video from one creator or another. I might not even be subscribed to that channel, but they're going to start recommending it to me because they think it's the next video I want to watch. And that's where there are some real benefits there. Okay. So you're familiar now with what the difference between hashtags and YouTube tags are. If you are, go ahead and put a Y in the chat that you're good on what the difference between the two types of tags that you can use are. Okay. That's brainiac stuff, yeah. When it comes to kind of succeeding on YouTube to a degree, a lot of it is psychological. The whole idea of using faces on thumbnails is the psychology of that you have a human connection. I mentioned this, I'm not sure if it was on Gary's live stream or Mark's live stream with Art of RVing, but the whole thought of faces on a thumbnail, the human species isn't that much different than other animals in nature. Birds love to see their reflection in a window, and dogs love to see other dogs, or loves to see their reflection in a mirror or a window. And unknowingly, the psychology of it is that if you put a human face on a thumbnail, that you've created an attraction to be able to, that your eye will focus on that thumbnail and be more apt to click on it because you've created that human connection. So that's why people like to put the faces on the thumbnails whenever possible, is because typically those thumbnails will see a little bit higher click rate because people are drawn to them more. Just simple psychology when it comes to that. So, all right. So we're just about an hour in, but I think we're pretty much coming down to where we're looking at a couple more things on your channel, but I think we're just about done looking here to see what we could do. Like I said, videos, as you start to learn and grow, again, like I said, come back to this channel, the TuberGuru channel, watch some of those playlists down below of these YouTube experts like Roberta Blake and Nick Minion and Brian G. Johnson, and also another good name is Tim Schmoyer. Because as you start to learn and start to get your channel looking better, then it's time to start looking at how to create better content. It's a learning curve as you start, and we improve every day, and that's just the way it is. The more longer you do it, the better you get, and we have plenty of improvement to do yet ourselves. And but your video content will start to evolve over time, and by doing that, one, you'll start getting more views, you'll get longer watch time and things like that. But there is proper ways to try to lay out a video on YouTube. And just to give you some things that people on YouTube, some of the experts will try to explain the structure of a YouTube video. And that is one of the first things is you have to have a hook in the front of your video. Now, most people, if they click on a video and if they don't get an idea what the video is about within the first few seconds of the video, they're going to abandon that and click back off of it. So that first, 5 to 10 seconds of your video is where you want, is your hook. It's going to be what hooks the viewer to stick around in the video. So you'll see in a lot of our videos, what we do is we start out with, what this video is about, and, it's starting now, or something of that nature. Everyone does something a little bit different. Maybe it's just, talking about, real quickly about what the video is about in some way, shape, or form. But then, some of us like to cut over to somewhat of an intro. If you are going to do an intro, try to keep it as condensed as possible. The shorter, the better. If you can do an intro that's only 15 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever, that's fantastic. I know we do a little bit longer intro on our adventure videos, but when it comes to like cooking videos, I try to shrink that down a little bit to more around 15 seconds or so if we can. Because if you have too long of an intro, somebody clicks on this, they get the hook. Okay, I'm interested in this, and then they have to watch a 2-minute intro. They're going to be bored by then. They're going to leave. So try to keep your intros down 15 seconds if you can. Our adventure videos are more for the more loyal viewers. I've been here for a while, so those we typically try to. We throw out maybe about a 15, 16 second, time frame for that. But you want to keep it short, get through it. Your intro could be a little, what your channel's about sort of thing. If you have something longer that you want to put together, you can use that as what's called a trailer video. And this is another thing that you don't have on your channel is you don't have a trailer video. Let me come to our channel, and there's 2 sections you can do here. As a returning visitor, you can put up a video that they could see if they're a returning visitor. And I usually put some of our more recent best performing videos up here. So if a user comes back, that's kind of front and center and kind of highlighted. If you're a first-time visitor to the channel, this is going to be a trailer video, which for us, we created an actual trailer video right here, that is listed there that, talks about why our channel is about adventure or whatever. And it's basically so somebody first time there, they get a quick little tidbit of what your channel's about, and maybe even a prompt to subscribe. You want to keep that short though too as well. You only want that to maybe be a minute long, 45 seconds if you can. But I really wouldn't go over much over a minute if you can help that. You want it quick, simple. I seen it. Now I'm hooked on your channel. Sign me up. So there's some things that you can do there as far as a trailer video and a returning visitor video that can help you there. So, all right. So with that, I'll go ahead. I think that right there is pretty much kind of probably gave you a little overwhelming things to start to look at on your channel and what you can do to help look a little better, give a better first impression, and hopefully get you some subscribers and more watch time. So for anyone in the room, does anyone have any questions about some of the stuff that we've covered today? If you do, go ahead and drop it in the chat right there, and we'll talk a little bit about your questions before before we sign off here. Okay. All right. So, but other than that, there's every day is an improvement. We kind of have a motto that every single week we try to pick one thing. Because if you try to fix everything at once, it's going to be overwhelming. Take something, say, okay, well, the next couple days I'm going to work on this. Maybe the next week I'm going to work on this. I'm going to improve one item every week. So maybe for, a lesson for this next week is work on branding of your channel, work on obtaining some channel art, work on some playlists, maybe work on a thumbnail template sort of thing, and just start getting a better look over the next week. And then from there, we can go ahead, you can move on, start worrying about, I'm going to go through and I'm going to make descriptions in my playlist and make sure that, I'm going to use some hashtags and things of that nature. Once you've started to get a look, then what we can do is we can do, and like I said, I'm going to cover other topics too, not just channel reviews. I'll do some live streams coming up of thumbnails, titles, descriptions, and tags, keyword search for trying to get your videos ranked, things like that. And but you can't do it all at once. I'm sure right now, with everything we talked about today, I'm sure you're probably a little overwhelmed. And this is just take it one step at a time. It's baby steps. It'll grow. Enjoy the time of getting to 1,000 subscribers as a learning experience. And then once you're, reached your 1,000 subscribers, you've got some experience under your belt. You can start getting a better feel for things, and you can move forward from there. But it's going to be a little bit of a time to get there, and during that time, soak up everything you can. So, all right. So it doesn't look like anyone's got any questions for today's session. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and end this. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do this every Friday, because some Fridays I might just be busy. I might do little impromptu ones at nighttime or whatever, or maybe, every other week sort of thing. But I would like to try getting something out every week if I could, even if it's just a short little tip in a live stream. But I would like to do these channel reviews maybe once a month sort of thing, and we can hit different channels. But like I said, keep in mind, for all of you guys watching, the things we covered today with burning up the roads, and I was great that they stepped up and wanted us to take a look at this. And this is because most all of these things that we covered today applies to everyone's channels. It doesn't just apply to them. There's some great things that you can do, but it applies across the board to everybody. You can start applying the stuff to your channel today. So let's see. Can you see the density of traffic or impressions you get from hashtags? Actually, no. And the reason being is because if you get a view from a hashtag, it's going to be bundled up with views from YouTube search, because in YouTube, that's the only way someone's finding your video by a hashtag is by doing a search. So all those views will be bundled together with that. And as of right now, they don't have a metric in the analytics to see what comes from hashtags only. So good question. I know hashtags are still pretty new on YouTube, and have only been around for about a year and a half. A lot of people still don't use them. Like I said, the way that I kind of explained using them is the best way to use it to our advantage without hurting us. Like I said, a lot of people will just say, no, don't use them, because they're trying to use them in the same way that you would on Instagram or Twitter, and it's not benefiting them, so they just say don't use them. But by using them in this manner, it is a good way to try to help you. Look out for number one, that link that's there. You can link right back to your stuff, push some more videos in front of them. So I think it's good to use just because of that. We have to try to utilize every little thing that we can to get ahead here. So why not use it? So, all right. Well, with that, I'll go ahead and I'll sign off here, guys. Thanks for joining us for our first live YouTube channel review, and we'll be doing more in the future. And also, I will go ahead and include, because you guys are in here, if you are not familiar with our RV niche small YouTube creator group that we have over on Facebook, I'll go ahead and I'll dump that link right here in the chat. If you're not familiar with that, let's see, why isn't it letting me post that? Let me see. I'll come over here. It doesn't like me posting that in there, but I can do it just inside YouTube and not inside StreamYard. Let's come over here so we can get that to you so you guys can. All right, let's try to post it here. Paste. There you go. All right, so we got that in there for you. And if you click on that link, that'll take you to our Facebook group. And this is a group that we've created for the RV niche. Although if you're not in the RV niche and you're still here as a YouTube creator, feel free to join. There's good information that we do there for that. And, we do that because we want to, one, be able to collaborate with other YouTube channels offside of YouTube other than just email. And occasionally I will share live stream videos in there as well that are straight into the Facebook group. Different information, post your videos in there as you create them so that the other RV creators that are in there can see them, things of that nature. So I hope this was helpful to each and every one of you, and we'll go ahead and we'll sign off with that, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.